Hello. Whoa. Excuse me. I have to take a sip from my Podro Pascal brand merchandise mug because I have to clear my throat.
You must. It's the only way to clear your throat is from our branded merch.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Hey,
look at that. I'm already fixed.
hey guys,
Hi.
welcome to Podro Pascal. I am your co-host Rachel Leishman,
And I'm your other co-host, Katrina Dennis.
and it's been a minute. It's
Oh.
not as good as it's been a while.
Been
I'm changing it up.
a hot little minute, yeah. But we're back with a lot of news. Like it's like a weird dense amount of news because like if you lay down in bullet points, it's not a lot, but there are a lot of little intricacies that we will go
It's like a
over.
spider web. There's so
Yeah.
much going on. But first, Katrina, how are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. I've had an interesting month, but you know, getting by, enjoying life as it goes. Getting ready to launch a cool portfolio website, and we just did last week a really cool live stream with our friends called The Council, which is about women and femmes and non-binary folks in Star Wars and the history of our contributions. So if you missed it, you can go check out our friends at the Geeky Waffle and watch it there.
Yeah, do it.
How about
Because
you?
Star Wars is for everybody. Surprise. It's not just for dude bros who think they know the most.
It's like the least for them. Is that controversial? I don't care.
No, I mean, as I tweeted,
Mhm.
how do we tell these dudes that they didn't get made fun of for liking Star Wars? They got made fun of for being assholes.
Exactly, exactly. Hmm.
Which to which my roommate and friend of the pod, Leah Thomas, replied with the picture of Rooney Mara from The Social Network. I was
Oh
like,
my God. I love
it's
it.
and that's how I feel about there are, a collection of Star Wars fans who are like, primarily white dudes who think that they know the most about Star Wars and Star Wars fandom. It's been really bad recently because the one, we'll call him Schmar More Schmeary, brought on a woman to say that it's a boys' little thing and that women want to play victims and enjoy it. I don't see the A to C logic
Well,
of the
here's the
state.
just don't, yeah, I don't trust anyone who calls themselves an expert and doesn't know basic film history because women have been here from the start, beginning with Marsha Lucas, who
Mhm.
is the reason that Star Wars is any good at all.
Or Carrie
Um,
ghost writing the
Carrie
movie.
ghosting it. Yep. Women, writers, editors, producers, all on Star Wars, crew members from the very beginning. Writers, people who say they love the EU but hate women. Like, I'm sorry, but a lot of the women who contributed to the EU, like Jan Duursema, who drew some of the best comics in Star Wars and hopefully is still going to continue doing that for us someday. Like I could go on and on about like the legacy of women in Star Wars and
Mhm.
what like we've contributed to not just like celebrate the fandom but keep it alive when there was no Star Wars between and what like 80 or
No,
77 and 87.
90. Are you talking about?
Well, no, I mean not between Jedi. I mean like between 70, between ANH and Empire Strikes Back. When there
Mhm.
was no new Star Wars and they didn't know that there was going to be new Star Wars, women were the ones creating zines. Women who were part of the Star Trek fandom came over, started writing their own fanfics, and put them in nice little magazines and sent them to each other. And that's how Star Wars stories and the basis of the EU even formed was like this group of women expressing interest in more Star Wars stories.
Mhm.
So to call yourself an expert in any way and then say that women don't like Star Wars is automatically like negating and I think insulting yourself because it's really basic film history. So
Yep, all that was is what many of us have been dealing with online. But I think it's important to talk about here because this is a podcast that includes a lot of things about The Mandalorian, and because we love Star Wars, and I think those dude bros consider that the one Disney Star Wars that they'll accept because they don't have any brain cells. But simply, I just think it's beyond annoying. Anyways,
mhm.
I'm doing well outside of that.
I'm glad you looked stunning at the Astro Awards
Oh my gosh,
like a
thank
couple weeks ago. That's
thank
nice.
you. I got to hang out with producer Ashley for a little.
Woo.
It took pictures of me in Pawnee.
We love that.
We
You got
award
your
sorry,
obligatory Paul Rudd photo.
well, of course. And then I saw Carrie's star and John Favreau's, and then I made everyone walk down to Zac Efron's, which is very fun, blah, blah, blah. But yeah,
Nice.
I like going to LA because I get to see some people that I have
Mhm.
missed. We awarded, I was just double checking that I didn't make this up in my joy, but we did award Pedro Pascal an award at the Astros for his work in
Woo!
The Last of Us so far. I think the only organization to have done so thus far.
Mhm.
Proud to have voted for Pedro, even though he was up against the other love of my life, Matt Smith, I believe, in that
That's
category.
tough. Yeah.
And I chose Pedro. And I chose
Mhm.
Pedro over, I also think, Kieran Culkin and the cast of Succession, which we will talk about that little fun feud in quotations. Well, to get into some of this news, what most of this news consists of is award show stuff. But before we get
Mhm.
into the award show stuff, Katrina, do you want to talk about the big news that came out?
Yeah, while we were having a little break and traveling and doing all of that, it was announced that there is officially going to be a film continuation of the Mandalorian series called The Mandalorian and Grogu, due to go into production later this year. So that is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for it. I know a
And
lot of people are joking about how much or how little Pedro's gonna be in this one, but I feel like they'll wheel him out a lot more often for a movie, you know? Like it's a feature film.
yeah, for a movie, I think he's probably gonna have a little bit more. But
Hmm.
also, if not, Brendan and Lakeith can get it. Like,
Yeah, they've done great.
they're doing great. I
Hmm.
think that's what makes The Mandalorian as a show and now a movie work so well is because it went back to the roots of Star Wars. So whenever there was like the issue, I'm like, James Earl Jones was never in the fucking Darth Vader suit. But
Hmm.
we recognized who was. That's me and my little
Yeah.
I know there's it divides people, but I was like, I do like that that goes back to,
Hmm.
the roots of Star Wars and we have somebody else in a suit and then they're like, bring in the voice actors. And I think that's fun. So
I
I
love
do
it.
like that it kind of in season 3 retreated back to that
Hmm.
completely. But I do think for a movie they would be like, did all this work to be a Mandalorian again? Yeah,
Hmm.
but he found love. He took his helmet off a bit more.
Yeah, yeah, just have him take his helmet off a little bit. But I love that point of like, from the beginning, multiple actors have been creating characters in
Mhm.
Star Wars. And I like to joke sometimes that, like, there's a running joke out there that's like, oh, I want to see a project where everybody but one person is Muppets. And it's usually like everybody but Adam Driver.
Yeah.
In The Mandalorian, I think the Mandalorian is the Muppet of the show. And everyone else is like,
Even in a show with Grogu.
even next to Grogu, he is the Muppet of the show. And I say that because it takes so many different people to create this character.
Mhm.
It takes not just like Pedro's voice acting or Latif and
Brendan.
Brendan Wayne's body language and stunt acting. It also takes being able to craft the costumes in a way that are still expressive, like the Mandalorian is very much like a puppet that a bunch of talented people have their hands in creating. And like I love that about Star Wars, because whether the character is someone whose face we know and see all the time, like Obi-Wan, even in his case, like that is still a person who's been brought to life in notable ways by more than one actor, by
Mhm.
Ewan, by Sir Alec Guinness, by the people who have voiced him in the Clone Wars, the gentleman whose name I am forgetting, and other. This is a sin. I should know better. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
that's
I saw him at the George Lucas talk show. I've seen this man in person.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that like even Anakin Skywalker, even Ahsoka Tano, like these, I think that it speaks to how we don't have to be precious about who plays who when it comes to maybe casting new faces for characters who have legacies in
My
Star Wars.
baby Leia,
Yeah.
my favorite thing that came out of last year was seeing Leia again, but
Mm-hmm.
it was fine that Vivian Lyra Blair played her. I was okay with it. And
Yeah.
but I do think like, everyone's like, "Oh, but how's Pedro gonna?" It could be fully voiced. Darth Vader was fully voiced. We just have only recently been like, let's destroy his
Yeah.
mask a bunch so we can see Hayden Christensen's face. That is a recent development. Normally,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception of, Return of the Jedi, of those movies, it was like Darth Vader's in his mask. You don't really see Darth Vader. And it
Mm-hmm.
obviously changed with movies like Rogue One, where we see him like in the back to the tank and then coming out and
Yeah.
getting back into his Vader garb, but we still don't see his face. We just like kind of see him outside of the Vader thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Vader, the mask and everything. Still, like, it was still very rare that we ever saw Vader not looking like Vader. And so I think that, like, that kind of got erased when we talked about The Mandalorian because we did know it was Pedro Pascal. We did see his face. in season
Mhm.
1 and season 2, and then in season 3 he was busy. But I think the movie, I don't necessarily think the movie's gonna be like, "And no face for you guys," but I do think, like, if it did, it's fine. It was
Yeah.
fully established that he went out of his way to redeem himself Mandalorian. So if we do not see his face, I am
Mhm.
okay with that.
Yeah, I wonder too, like this is so the way this is being, at least production schedule wise, it looks like this is going into production ahead of Ahsoka season 2. So
Mhm.
what kind of story do you think you'd want to see in The Mandalorian and Grogu?
I mean, I would want to see the evolution of Grogu into like melding the two like sides of his belief system now. So like
Mhm.
the Jedi and the Mandalorian.
Mhm.
But also adapting what works for him because when you stop and think about it, they're both cults, and he left one cult, joined another
Yeah.
cult, and is like, "What up?" And so, which is kind of the same for Sabine Wren, which I think Maggie Lovett has made that point. Like, there are many characters in Star Wars that leave one cult and they go to another cult,
The
and they're
Savage
like,
Ventress.
we're like, "I'm gonna do this." But I
Yep.
do think Grogu is a being that like still played with the idea of the Jedi. So I
Mm.
think him like Din playing with the idea of the Mandalorian could be a really interesting thing to see kind of evolve in a movie versus a show. Because I think in a show it ends up being really dragged out. But and like they're gonna bring in the like crew. It's gonna be them going like hopping planet to planet, solving some things. Too bad Nick Nolte's dead because I loved Nick Nolte.
Mhm.
Yeah, or like I don't know, maybe it's Reef Karga needs their help because Navarro is under attack or whatever it
Right.
is, it
Yeah,
could
they're
be, or tie
yeah,
it to fucking Ben Solo. It'll be a couple of years, and Ben Solo just like destroyed the Jedi Temple again because those things are always a bad fucking idea. But,
Mhm.
Grogu's like, I have to save the Jedi. Talks now.
Interesting.
The Jedi, I
That's
say I will, and then they go off and save the Jedi.
and then we lead into the Rey New Jedi Order
Yeah.
movie.
And
I like
that's
that.
yeah,
That's the direct connection.
yeah.
Is like Grogu just shows up again and it's like, Jedi I am. What up, Rey? Or up what,
Well,
Rey?
yeah, their movie spans 20 odd years.
I was what's Mando even doing? He's just like hanging out
Yeah, how
and he's
old is
like
he now?
raising his child. So
He
it's,
could be 40, he could be 20, we don't know.
yeah,
No one has made that clear in all of the years of Star Wars. How
I'm at
old
the house.
is Din Djarin?
Look, I will always be stuck on the fact that Din's helmet, his pike thing, and Grogu's chainmail are hanging in Doc Ondar's at Galaxy's
Mhm.
Edge, which is like situated in the sequel trilogy. So that stuff had to get there some way, by way of like a garage sale or something more ominous. Like
Well,
it
and
had to get there somewhere.
I was incorrect, Star Wars boys, you can tell me I'm incorrect. Is roughly 40 years old in the beginning of The Mandalorian, so by
Yeah,
season
we can
2
wage him up. We
in
can age him
season
up.
2, what? That makes him, like, 45. Isn't it, like, 5 years? It'd be 45, and then I
Mm,
don't know how long the gap is between season 2
yeah.
and 3. So we're pushing 50. Book it right off of season 3. But by the time they film it and everything, baby's old man Din, and he's just like, "I'm exhausted.
Yes, I want
My
to see Grandpa
shoulder's in a sling
Dan.
because I didn't hurt my arm, I hurt my shoulder.
Mhm, mhm. Yes.
Grogu, you fix this."
And then Grogu has to go on a quest for affordable healthcare.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, because, like, even Brendan Wayne hold on, how old is Lateef? Okay, Lateef, in theory, is the youngest person to be playing Din, and he is
Mhm.
46 years old.
Right.
Brendan Wayne is 51, and then Pedro is, what, 48, I think, right now? And that man is breaking day in and day out. So, when you think about it,
Our poor crumbling Pedro.
someone replied to my post of him in one of those links, and they go, "Why do I feel like this man's always injured?" I was like, it's not his back, it's his shoulder now, I guess.
Aw.
He decided that Gladiator 2 was a good
I wonder how that oh, man, I hope that I mean, I
Ridley
don't really
Scott
have
is
that much of
always
an emotional investment in Gladiator 2, but
We'll see, I do.
yeah.
But, like, Ridley I said that. How old is Ridley Scott? Yeah, that's what I thought. Ridley Scott's old as shit anyway, he's almost 90 years old, he's 86. So, like, probably I as much as I love Ridley Scott, because this man is insane. When asked about, like, how he makes so many movies, they were like, "We can't contain this man." Like, he just is like Martin
He
Scorsese's like,
just won't
"Every couple of
stop.
years." Yeah, he won't stop. Martin Scorsese is like, "I will give you a movie every, like, 5, 6 years." That's what I kinda have.
Mhm.
Ridley Scott won't fucking stop. There's like 3 movies a year, and you're like, he's 86.
Oh,
What's
to
he
have the work
doing?
ethic.
But he probably looked at Pedro being like, I can't work, I hurt my shoulder, and being like, I got 40 years on you.
Come on. Back to set. No complaints.
All that to
You're in
say,
Ridley Scott's world now.
that's what I hope for the Mandalorian movie. Katrina, what do you hope for the Mandalorian movie?
Yeah, I would like a continuation, I guess, of what we started to see. I think not just in the Mandalorian, but in Ahsoka. Like, I think that there are definitely two ways that this movie can go, and that's a
Mm,
contained story about Din and Grogu. Maybe there's a MacGuffin they have to find, a Mandalorian relic, like you said, and we get some side characters like Bo-Katan and Boba and stuff like that. But I think there's a greater story to be told that could help lead into Ahsoka season 2 without being too much of an Ahsoka season 2 lead in, and that's the story of the New Republic.
mm,
We got a taste of that in both the Mandalorian and in Ahsoka. You know, we saw Zeb and the Republic pilots in the Mandalorian. I'd love to see more of them. Since we're not getting Space Top Gun, I think that's a great opportunity to, incorporate some pew pews and zip zows. So so that's definitely like one way it can, like the two ways it can go, where it's like just them or they're playing into the greater like changes in the galaxy, because we
Mhm,
don't, I think, in like a live action format, we still haven't seen a lot of the pivotal points where things go wrong and the first order starts taking over. Like the best moment I can think of that we've had in canon is from Star Wars Bloodline, which is a book about Leia. And that's like that book, I would love to see it as like an animated film, because it's this incredibly like tense, like politically driven story, that basically shows you exactly how like everything finally fell apart because of this one event that takes place in Bloodline. So
mm,
yeah. So I'd love more perspective. All of that is to say, I'd love more perspective on like the New Republic, what's stirring up in the galaxy, because we don't have that context from like Return of the Jedi to The
Force
Force
Awakens.
Awakens. Yeah. About like what happened, like where did everything go wrong, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I will say this now, as a Leia girl, literally, I have my Leia tattoo on my arm. How do I
Hmm.
turn it? Just cast someone as Leia. Do
Yeah.
not give me CGI Carrie. As I just rewatched Rogue One with my brother because they're going through him and his wife are going through all of the Star Wars movies again because I think they finished Rebels and then they were like, well, I kind of want to watch all of these in order, like with Solo and Rogue One and all that kind of in there.
Nice. Yeah.
And so he was like, we're on Rogue One. Do you want to watch it with us? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll watch Rogue One. And I every time both get emotional and get angry when I see Leia because it just looks so bad. And I know that y'all have gotten better over there in CGI Disneyland.
Hmm.
However, just cast a human being to give me Princess Leia in that era. Because
Yeah.
that's what I really want. And I think that movie, you could set up Leia having her own show with another actress. If you don't want to just cast Billy Lord to play her mother with dark hair, because she looks very much like Carrie, then cast somebody else to play Leia. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I
Sign
feel
Leia fan.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know, there might be like I guess the narrative is that there's casting like trauma, and I don't want to say like, oh, this is something I heard from my guy at Lucasfilm, because it's like it's more the gist of like I understand that numbers wise Solo wasn't a hit, but
Which
I
is
think
wrong.
Alden, which is
Solo
wrong. Solo was a lot of fun. It's not my favorite, but you know what? It gave me freaking that Lando and Han book that Daniel Jose Older wrote, and that was great. I loved it, and it gave Solo so much more heart for me, which yeah. The point is
also, the
Alden.
problem about Solo was never Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
always, like, the script things that they had to rework 20 times. Because
Yep,
Alden Ehrenreich is one of the few actors I've ever seen do a character that someone else did and fully understand these different aspects of that character.
absolutely.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like, that's what I said when I talked to him, I was like, "You do not understand how fans, especially, like, female fans, get so angry when people say Han Solo was a ladies' man," because he's not. He's a hermit, and what
Yeah.
I loved is that movie, like, let Alden Ehrenreich recognize that he's a hermit and was like, "This guy doesn't wanna deal with any
Yeah.
human being." He's like, "I'm good, fam." And
Mhm.
Solo nailing that was like, "Oh, this movie gets Han Solo." it just went through so many rewrites, so many different things that it just kind of, when the moments aren't Han and Chewie finding each other and like Han, like even Han and Kira, because I loved Kira, when it gets into like the weird like Woody Harrelson stuff and Jon Favreau as the like multiple armed gorilla thing,
Jeez.
or like, you know, killing off Henry Newton way too
Hmm.
fucking early. Those things are what make Han, like make Solo like, why did you do
Yeah.
all? But it was
Hmm.
never Alden Ehrenreich, which I wish I could like call up Disney and be like, yo,
Yeah.
none of us are mad at Alden. Give him
No.
something better to do.
Give him something more. I think I would love to see him get to have a comeback the same way Anakin and
Mhm.
the same way Hayden has gotten to have a comeback. The same way we've now, because they brought back Genevieve O'Hara, who was in a deleted scene in Return or in Revenge of the Sith. We now have this
Riley.
incredible, this incredible like portrayal of Mon Mothma. Like she is Mon Mothma
Mhm.
now for our generation, and I think there that any like fear around new actors playing these characters is I just don't think it's enough for them not to try it again, and not to cast that actor who played Luke and they like digitized his face. He looked fine. He could have played it would have been fine. I would have known exactly who he is. He's wearing the little Return of the Jedi outfit. I guess Luke doesn't shower. He's got the haircut. He has the mannerisms. He's fine. Like
But they
that's
listen to people like Shmari
ugh,
and just imagine I have a drink in my hand. I don't wanna say their names, but they listen
no,
to those
yeah.
guys 'cause those guys have huge platforms, and they think
Hmm.
that this is the, like, what fans want, and it's not. We
Yeah.
Most of us don't want them to do that kind of stuff. Most of
Hmm.
us want to just, like, live with these characters. We can suspend our disbelief that it's,
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich, who is significantly shorter than Harrison Ford, grows into Harrison Ford. Like, we can, like, believe all of that because we use our brains. The problem is
Yeah.
you're listening to people who don't use brain cells, and when they're like, Luke Skywalker was the strongest, he would never just like be a baby and sacrifice him." No, he would. He's a drama queen. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he would fucking do.
He lives for it. He lives for it.
Yeah, remember
I
when he
that yeah.
threw himself into the fucking sand because they were, or when he's like, "It's going to Toshi to pick up partner." Like, he's Toshi's Asian, sorry. Don't wanna mess
Yeah.
up the plan. Like, ugh, it just makes me so angry because,
I
like, I
yeah.
would be I am so excited about the Mandalorian movie, but I'd be so much more excited about, like, an idea like that where they go and they establish the New Republic if I didn't have that looming fear that you're gonna make me watch CGI Carrie Fisher.
I
Carrie
still
Fisher
want
is
that.
the love of my life. I don't want to see Carrie Fisher as a CGI creature.
No.
I want
I would
someone
much
good.
rather. I want organic actors. I was 7 years old and they told me, "Okay, this old guy is Obi-Wan Kenobi, but this young guy is also now Obi-Wan Kenobi." And I was like, "All right, new Star Wars." Like that
Yeah.
if a
And
child can process it.
every
Yeah.
millennial recognized that now Ewan McGregor was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we all were on board.
Yeah,
We all understood it. We were like, "Got it. No
great.
notes." I guess they think no one uses their brain cells anymore, but
I
whatever.
mean, I don't blame them, but yeah. With all of that said, I'm excited to hear that the movie is in production.
Mhm.
I will reserve any other judgments or wants or concerns for when we hear more about it, which will probably be like 2025 at earliest, because that's the next celebration. So,
Well,
which is in
D23 is
Japan.
this year,
Oh,
so
that's right.
maybe
Yeah.
D23, and then Japan
Hmm.
to save money.
Help Pedro Pascal get to Japan in 2025.
Yeah.
We're gonna need the help.
Hey, Pedro, can you send Podro out there, and we'll finally meet you in
Yep,
Japan?
your plus ones, your handlers. He can yell at people for you. You're
I
so
told
annoying.
everyone who was at the Critics' Choice when he was there, all of my friends, I was like, "Tell him Pedro Pascal hi." They know.
I bet you Laura did. I bet you Laura did at
As
least.
Laura got close, Laura 100% was like, "I know Pedro Pascal." He's like, "I remember. I remember that
Oh, that's
email."
fantastic.
Never
I love
forget
it.
when she looked at, wasn't it Laura who looked at him on the carpet and just said, "Pedro Pascal?"
Yes, it was.
Which
Oh my
I
god.
will, for a slight detour, my mom met Laura when I was in LA. Laura, first of all, was dressed like a mob wife. And so my mom instantly loved her, and I was like, if
Mhm.
anyone can take the mob wife aesthetic, which I was like, I have mixed feelings about people suddenly being like, I'm part of the mob wife aesthetic now. I'm like, excuse me, you didn't have a faux fur
Okay.
coat when you were a child, but
You did not live first off through the Snooki era. I
yeah.
don't think you paid your dues.
But Laura, who's from Staten Island, rolled up in this event with like a fur coat and her nails done, and we were like, rep Italians, Laura.
Amazing.
Who Laura's not
I
Italian,
love
she
that.
just had the vibe.
Look, Ayo Edibiri is Irish now,
Io
so
was
Laura can be Italian if she
yeah,
wants. She can have.
Io
I'll
was just
sign the
adopted in
papers.
Ireland, which I
Yeah.
think is the funniest shit on the planet. The picture of her and Cillian Murphy,
Mm.
it is so, so funny. Hold on, you know what we have? It's our
Uh-oh.
old background, but sorry, we're
The
gonna do it.
first one of 2024.
It's a tangent
Woo
with our old background
woo!
colors. For those who don't know, and because
Uh,
this is a great segue, actually, Ashley,
mhm,
to
mhm.
get us into the memes that have come out of of the awards that we've recently seen. So to start, I'll explain the IO thing, and then we'll get into Pedro's meme that he has created for himself. So Io Debris and it was at I think South by Southwest during the time when the Banshees of Inisherin came out. And so they were like talking about something and she pretended that she was the donkey. They started talking in an Irish accent, being like, I'm so proud of Ireland. Yes, the Irish. We're killing it. I'm so proud of us because she just adopted that she was Jenny the donkey.
Mhm.
And slowly, that clip, because I hadn't even seen that clip until this year, and Leah showed it to me and was like, "Oh wait, you don't know about this?" And I said, "No." But slowly, the internet has just continued to call her Ireland's princess and like praise her for being Irish. And racists have like been like, "She's not Irish," and missed the bit entirely, which is
Mhm.
she just established that she was from Ireland all on her own. And so when the racists started, that is kind of when everyone collectively was like, this is Ireland's princess. On red carpets, people started to ask her about it. But the thing that she did that like I think really like recently has kicked it off even more is like she went to Billy, this is from the Critics' Choice. She went and found Cillian Murphy, who is Irish, from Ireland, has an Irish accent if you listen to Cillian Murphy, not in a movie role, and took this picture with him. And you can tell on Io's face that she's like, I've done it. I've taken a picture with the King of Ireland.
I love it. So
And so
perfect.
that was a meme, which brings us into our meme, Pedro. So, where to start? I guess the Golden Globes would be
Mhm.
where to start with the meme. At the Golden Globes, Kieran Culkin beat Pedro Pascal in the category they were both nominated for, which I believe is Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series. And during Kieran's speech, he said, "Suck it, Pedro." And it cuts to Pedro Pascal with one of his little slings, this sling to be exact, crying.
And this is a recreation of the facial expressions that he made during his community live read.
It really
So
is.
I just think I love how it just comes full circle. Like I like it especially because you started with that story about Io. This is a night, an award season even of celebrities knowing they are consciously creating memes.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah, like, I knew the minute she took that picture of Cillian Murphy, she's like, "The bitches are gonna eat this up for Ireland." Like, she knew, and we all did.
mhm.
We all were like, "Ireland!" But, like, I love it. I love it so much. I love when Cillian Murphy is like, "I'm Irish." No notes. This, though, this meme got two rounds because Kieran Culkin said to suck it, and so
Mhm.
then at the Emmys, Pedro Pascal was presenting, and he stood on stage and he said that he was talking about his shoulder because he hurt his shoulder. I'm going
Mhm.
to reiterate for everyone on this podcast. He hurt his shoulder.
Not his
Everyone
arm.
kept saying he hurt his arm. He hurt his shoulder. And
Mhm.
he says that on the stage. And then he said that the reason was that Kieran Culkin beat the shit out of him, which they bleeped out. So everyone was like, what the fuck did he say? And it was that Kieran Culkin beat the shit out of him. And you can tell he's so proud of himself.
Look at that face. Aw,
And
I
then it
love
cuts
it.
to Kieran Culkin, and he is just staring straight ahead. But it's great because he says the joke, he laughs at his own joke, and then he says, "And the nominees are." So, like, I believe he says nominees are,
Uh,
or he goes into, like, announcing whatever it is, he
mhm.
literally just, like, didn't say anything after it. It was great comedy. It was
Mhm.
good.
A plus, A
Made
plus.
me giggle.
I truly loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
brings us, though, into his wonderful looks that he's had with a sling. Which one is we're not doing our favorite segment yet, but which of his recent looks has been your favorite?
Ooh, I would say the very most recent, when he stepped out with his sister Luz for the Emmys.
Relax, I love
I
it.
thought it was great. I love it when duos match, okay? Like
Mhm,
I love it when there's a call beforehand and it's like, what are you wearing? Okay, I'll wear this. So clearly this was crafted around what Luz chose to wear. But I really like it. It's like a nice little, it's kind of funny, like he's wearing a fancy button up under like a little see-through sweater.
mhm.
So I love that for him. Great shoes, and just the both of them look incredible. So that's my favorite.
To talk about that picture real quick, the amount of people online who were like, "Lucky lady, what a cute couple." You guys, Lex is his sister. What are we doing?
Yeah. What are you talking about, cute couple? Don't
So
you know
many people,
anything
and I
about
think it was, like,
anyone?
Discussing Film or Film Updates, one of those 2. They posted the picture, and they didn't say Pedro Pascal and his sister Lux Pascal. All
Mm.
they said was Pedro Pascal and Lux Pascal at the Emmys, and all these motherfuckers in the comments just assumed that was his wife. No,
Ew.
his little sister.
That's his sister,
We
folks.
he's talked about a lot, so I don't
I know
understand.
we're Star Wars fans, but calm down.
I was just like, Brosephos. That would
Hmm.
be his sister. But yeah, wild of you guys. I wanted to just say that before we continue these looks because that is bonkers.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Personally, I loved his critic choice,
Yeah.
this
Hmm.
beige gray look that he was rocking. That was the best the sling looked this entire time. That
Hmm.
was good slinging. He also, there is this picture, which is a different night, but also looks like the same sling.
Hmm.
His name is Agent. It's giving great sling
Yeah. I
because
love this.
this sling's a little too loosey goosey. This
Fair.
sling protecting.
Yeah, that looks secure. That
Yeah,
looks like it's holding his shoulder in place, which is the important part. It
yeah,
doesn't need to hold his arm necessarily in place. I mean, it does, but it needs to make the shoulder even so that it can heal better. So,
yeah. And
great
this
sling
sling looks
action.
a little too because it was a cashmere one, as he revealed. This
Mm-hmm.
one, a little too flexible. You can hurt
Mm-hmm.
your shoulder further, King.
Yeah, yeah. I
This
just
one has
noticed
to
a
be
little, I will say about the black outfit, I just noticed the little roses on his sleeves. I think those are roses.
Do you have
Um,
do you have fucking bionic vision? How did you
I was just looking at it. I was like, that's a weird thing to have on the sling. And then I realized those are
Oh my
on
god,
the
they
edges of his
are.
sleeves. They're little roses.
That's
That's so
crazy.
cute. I love it.
This sling, this is great for our listeners and not our watchers. For the listeners, the Emmys look not protecting the shoulder. The
Hmm.
critics' choice protecting the shoulder.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love to see it. And he
Get
has
that
a
to make.
black sling that
Hmm.
will protect his shoulder because we saw it at the Globes.
There we
This
go.
the Globes look had a different vibe.
A little bit on the side of like a glee teacher, I want to say. Like he looks like he teaches glee after school,
Yeah.
but like
He
science during the
is
day.
he is Will Schuester.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. Makes him look like the kind of guy who will sneak drugs into your locker to bribe you to join his glee club.
He
Yeah.
teaches Spanish during the day, and then he goes and he is a glee club teacher. But
Yeah.
this time it's a person who actually speaks Spanish
Yeah.
versus Matthew Morris.
My God. Yeah. No, I would watch the Glee reboot if it were him.
I don't put that
I'd give
curse
it a
out
shot.
in the world.
Oh no, no, that's for another show. Um, not for this show. But I love going back to the sling vibes. Like once again, Pedro's team just always knocking it out of the park with the looks. I like to think that like he emailed them photos of like the 5 slings he was able to get, and was like, "What can we do with these?" And then they hit him back with like, "Well, we're gonna get you like 3 other ones because don't." And so they
Like,
got
what
him
can I do
this.
with this
Yeah,
doctor ordered sling? And they're
we
like,
need this like cream white sling, and it needs to match like 3 outfits for you this week, and et cetera, et cetera.
yeah.
So,
I like that they had to coordinate with a medical professional.
yeah, we love it. We love cross-functional collaboration.
I hope they went into, like, a medical warehouse and just brought swatches of the clothes and were like, "Nail that. This
There we
one."
go. Perfect.
I also do wanna talk about these glasses because as a bitch who's worn glasses my entire life, like and I say that before someone goes, "No one's wearing" y'all, my eye went the wrong direction. So I had the glasses that wrapped around my little ears so that I could see. Anyways, I'm a bitch who loves variety with my glasses because now it is more affordable to have variety.
Mhm.
Way back in my heyday as a glasses wearer, you basically you picked one pair of glasses and that's what your look was for the
I
first.
remember I had glasses as a child, and I didn't get to pick mine. My parents picked mine, and they picked those thick ones that were like with the little pink, but like also see-through frames. And I was very upset about that for
Oh, I
so
had real big ones, which now I'm like, "What was wrong with me? Those rule." They were like,
long.
they were bigger than this, but they were big and red, and I hated them. I buried that shit in the yard, and then my mom made me go and dig them up.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
and then I got really tiny, like, cat eye ones, and I was like, "What was wrong with me?" Now all
Mm-mm.
my glasses are fucking gigantic.
Mhm.
Anyways, he is rocking 3 different frames
Yes.
in these pictures.
Yeah.
Is this the same? These
No,
are the
those
same.
are
Okay.
different.
No, these
So
and
those
these are
are
the
different
same.
frames 'cause yeah, aren't they? Because 'Cause
Those are
they're
the
more
same.
rounded.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so he's rocking 4 different frames? I think these are the same and there's just a different angle. So I think the look of him in the tan with his agent glasses and the glasses from the Emmys,
Mm.
they're kinda like I have Tom Ford ones that are like that. They're big, they're not Wayfarers, but they're big, just like square black frames.
Yeah.
Classic. Normally men rock them. Women, we should get into them non-binary. Do what makes you feel
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want, but I think that this frame is a classic and everyone should embrace it, not
Mhm.
just the dudes. That's why I have a pair like that. I got
Nice.
tired of men rocking them and women not rocking them too. For
I've got
me,
some screen readers like that I need to start using again.
yeah, I
Mhm.
love them. I was so because when I went into Tom Ford, they're labeled as men's glasses, and I was like, "But I would like them." Colin Firth wears them in a single man, and they gave them to me. Anyways, because I bought them. But anyways, so he's rocking these we'll call him a single man
Single man glasses, got it.
Tom Ford glasses. And then he has these ones, which
Love these.
I'm happy this style is coming back. This style kind of went out for a hot minute. This was real big in the early 2000s. The, like,
Mhm.
almost ombre
Yeah. I
glasses.
talked I talked my partner into getting, frames like these because I like them so much. The reason I like it is because, especially on brown-eyed glasses wearers, they get flushed out a lot. You don't really
Mhm.
see their eyes highlighted, and so the bottom, and this is me just getting, like, super, like, nitpicky with it, but the bottom opens that eye up a lot more, and you can see their eyes better through it. So
Yeah.
I like that, the amber, like, clear bottom to kind of, like, let the face pop.
Well, that's kind of the joy of clear. Like, even the ones I have on now, which are, like, them I call my serial killer glasses. Um,
Very Dahmer.
my friend tried to call them she was like my friend Princess, who's also on the podcast, Princess was like, "Oh, you're rocking a Gloria Steinem look," and I was like, "I've just called them my serial." But,
Ah.
for me, is like, I have green eyes. Whenever I
Mm,
wear glasses on, it's almost impossible to tell that I have green eyes. Everyone, when I was a kid, thought I had brown eyes, and I was like, "Nope, they're almost
mhm,
blue." But it's when you wear like, you're right, when you wear something that's clearer or brighter, it, like, opens up your eyes more. So,
mhm,
like, this black frame look, nice for the outfit he was going, but for every day, it's like, you're also closing yourself off. Which
mhm.
then brings us to, I think, my favorite pair, which are the tiny,
Yes,
tiny round ones. And
so
they're not
cute.
blue, they're like the gray of his outfit, but they look clear from this angle.
Yeah, I love these. Those are great. I don't know, maybe this is, like, the quality of the photo. I think we have a slightly closer look at this, but that's for a later
That's
segment.
really
Yeah, that's for later. But I love the light coloring and, like, the layering on them too. I think that that's a really cool like detail to the frame. So
And yeah, those are the looks. I didn't wear my glasses to intentionally talk about glasses for as long as I just did. I just haven't put my contacts in today, and so I was like, I'm just doing this in my glasses. But yeah, and then we have some. Oh yeah, he also wrote "ouchie" on his nails, which I think is
mhm.
very cute, very funny. But we also have some casting for The Last of Us season 2 to talk about.
Yes, yeah. I am particularly excited about one of these, so I'll just start with that one. So Dina was cast for season 2, and that's Isabella Merced, who has played a number of roles, but is also,
Yeah,
namely, Dora the
Dora
Explorer.
the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer. I'm so excited. She was in
Dora the
Transformers and stuff too,
Explorer.
but she's such a versatile actress, and I'm really excited to see like her profile getting raised. I don't know what my opinions of The Last of Us season 2 are. I wasn't super hot on the game, and some of the narrative doesn't necessarily align with my morals, but that's what entertainment's for. Is doing stuff against your morals and not actually doing it in real life. So yeah, I'm really excited for this whole casting. You can take it from here, Rachel.
They did cast Caitlin Deaver as Abby, which not only gives you an idea of where season 2 is going, but it also, there were people who are wondering like why she isn't more muscular, because in the game Abby is very muscular. I like Caitlin Deaver. Hopefully she does bulk up for this, because in the game Abby is very muscular. But I think Caitlin Deaver is a fantastic actress, so I'm not mad at it. It would have been Katie O'Brien was like a big like fan
Yeah.
for people, and I think that would have been great. But I know Caitlin Deaver's gonna like also deliver the acting much like Katie O'Brien would have as well. So it's kind of like, all right, like, well, we at least know the Abby performance is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And then we have Young Manzino playing Jesse. So that's and I love Young Manzino. I think I've interviewed him for the beef for the beef for beef. Like,
Right.
and he's incredible in that show. So I'm very excited to see kind of what he does with Jesse.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see this cast kind of round itself out, and there are just certain plot points in season 2 that I'm very interested and feel other things about how they're gonna play out. So I'm like trying so hard. Like I know the people who
Or maybe season 3, because
maybe
they might. That was I
who
was
knows.
talking to someone yesterday, and they said that they're like, "Do you really think?" And I'm like,
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
go, Craig
It depends.
Madden and Neil Druckmann both said, "Oh yeah, season 1's gonna be very different from the game," and then it was not.
Yeah.
There was like, couple of different things, but it was not that different. So who knows? Not me, not I. We shall see. And now, guys, it's our favorite time of the week. Let me see if I remember how to sing this song.
Do it.
Stash, 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 the stash, 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 the stash. The stash on everybody's lips is gonna be
Wow.
Pedro's.
Hey.
Welcome to Stash of the Week, where we pick our favorite Pedro Pascal mustachios and talk
Mhm.
about them. Katrina, would you like to go first?
Yes, I forgot which one I picked. I think it's this one. Okay. Yes, thank you. So again, the Emmy look. I just think it's so great. And now that like you can see even better these little roses on his
Mhm.
wrists, and the way I love the little like line on the frame here. So yeah, I think I went into a little detail, but he's wearing like a button up white shirt, a semi see-through sweater on top. The sweater's got these like rose formations on the like edge of the sleeves. He's got a cashmere sling.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, the rose is on the sling.
Yeah.
And then one of the other rose is on his like non-sling wrist. So it's just such a fine little outfit for a fine little gentleman. I love it.
Mine are the curls. It is the Critics' Choice
Yay.
look. I just love this monochrome look. I love the glasses. I love the hair. So much about this is perfect. Shout out to Coco. Like, girl, every time you're making those
Amazing.
curls look great. And
Hmm.
these are top tier curls. I love them so much. Again, like this look, the Emmys look. I love that he brought his sister with him. There's just so many things about this whole kind of recent wave of Pedro pictures that's made me very happy. And
Hmm.
shout out Coco again. Ashley's pick features Coco and Pedro.
Yay! Aw, I love the little like rainbow shirt he's got going
Yeah,
on.
this robe he has on.
The robe, yeah. It's very cute.
I love it. Yeah, guys, that's us back with Pedro Pascal, back with Podro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro. And yeah, just a reminder, guys, our merch has dropped. You can get this lovely mug that Catrina has over here that has our faces on it. Can get a triple frontier shirt that says "I fly over the fucking Andes, man." You
Mm-hmm.
can get a shirt that has all of Pedro's characters on it. You can get a Viper shirt. There are so many shirts to pick from, and stickers, and mugs, and so many other things. And
Mm-hmm.
we should really look at it because the list of designs.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
just amazing. This is like the best brand collab I've ever done.
Yeah,
A lot. So
it looks great.
it looks so good.
Katrina, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me anywhere on the internet if you search for Oh Katrina. That's OHCATRINA. I'm available for hire right now, so check me out on LinkedIn.
I'm
and
available for
no, I am also Lua on Unwavering Force. That's Unwavering Force, a Star Wars tabletop RPG show, which you can listen to wherever you listen to podcasts, probably even the same place you're listening to Podro right now. And I think, oh, and I also host What's Up, which is coming back on the Geeky Waffle Network very, very soon. I think that's all I have to promote. Hello, Rachel. Where
Hold
can
on.
hey, hire me now. Hire
Yes,
Katrina now.
hire Katrina now. Hire Katrina now. Hold on, we're gonna make this play for a second. Give me a second. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Yes, I'm
Here,
ready. Let's do this.
hold on.
Hire me now. You wanna hire me? Hire me. Pay me money to do stuff.
You can find me at the Mary Sue, where I write a bunch of things. You can also find me at Collider. And you can find me on the Fordcast, Harrison Ford podcast, as well as Cinema Sibs. My brother and I talk about movies that we like a lot. And also,
Yay.
you can hear me on Katrina's podcast soon.
Yes, soon. I'll have an announcement probably next episode.
Well, I'll be there soon. Until next time, we just want to remember everybody that stay informed. Call for a ceasefire now, please, because it's ridiculous. And we all should be wanting that.
Yes, yeah. Free Palestine. Ceasefire
Yay.
now. Let's all learn to love each other a little bit more.
I agree. And until next time, which will be sooner than last time, goodbye.
Bye bye.